Good evening, peeps. It's your girl, Blessed E Gaza Diva, and we are back again with another update and some new revelations in the Vybz Kartel Appeal. Alright, so let's get to it. Now, thanks for watching the video yesterday, and I'm delighted that a number of you found the information useful because I've gotten your feedback, so thanks so much for that. And remember, all we're trying to do here is just make sure that you keep abreast, in tuned, aware, and break down as much as we can and make sense of this madness. All right, so keep those feedback coming, keep the comments coming, and we will have our discussion as usual in the comment section. Now, a few of you expressed your concerns yesterday about Gaza Slim going back to court. Frankly, Gaza Slim can go to court as much as she wants, because let's be realistic here, people. Gaza Slim sent a text message, or made a call rather, that Lizard is not dead. He tried to rob her. Wherein that is Kartel implicated? Vanessa Bling is free to do whatever she wants to do. Now she defending her you know what and something else and fighting for something else. But the long and short of it is, Vybz Kartel did not make that call. And if Vanessa Bling made her call, she needs to explain why she made that call and on what grounds. That has nothing to do with Vybz Kartel. So the long and short of it is, people, be calm. Don't worry about fickle things, because hear what? With all of the mayhem that has been happening since July 9th, when this case reopened, the prosecutors are, or the other side who convicted Vybz Kartel, they are so uncomfortable right now. They're like drowning, so they're clutching at straws. Vanessa Bling and the phone call calling to say that Lizard is not dead, and they're trying to say that she's doing what? Perverting the case. So what was Paula Llewellyn doing when she heard that the bribery occurred and the juror was trying to bribe the jury? They need to go and figure out themselves and cast their stones where it needs to be casted. So that aside, put that to the back of your heads and let's get into the meat of the matter now. So Valerie Nita Robinson has continued the onslaught on the appellate court today. The latest, newest findings: Vybz Kartel was not present at Havendale when any alleged crime was committed, because until they find Lizard's body, it is alleged. So I don't know what they're talking about. And so far, everything has been stacking against them. The cells tower proof that Lizard is in Portmore and at the time of the crime. Now only to hear the new element showed up in the appellant court today is Vybz Kartel was in the hospital at 7:48 on the night of the murder, when the main witness is saying he was at the premises at 8 p.m. and witnessed the event. Now if Vybz Kartel is in the hospital at 7:48 and you witness the event at 8 p.m, wow, so it's another magician spell. People, do you see the mayhem, the madness, the atrocity, the garbage, the rubbish that keeps coming out of this case? Right now, you know, the only reason I'm talking about it is because I love Vybz Kartel dearly. And from 2011, that's when it started for me. I don't know about anybody else, but 2011 was when my turmoil started. Because the minute they picked him up for that spliff or weed in New Kingston, I knew it was on and popping, and I started stressing out from then. So that is when my nightmare began. So because of that, and I had to suffer through those years, up until 2018 now, I am on this case like white on rice, and I'm going to pick and nitty-grit every single detail that I possibly can until they let Vybz Kartel out. Our artist needs to be free. This is rubbish. Every day court is held, you hear a new piece of garbage. This is rubbish. I can't understand it. How on earth can you sentence a man to life imprisonment when the case is so flawed? It's full of loopholes. It's filled with gaps, and there's so many issues with this case. And I really know they have to come great, and we don't want no new trial. I don't even want to hear no mistrial. I just want to hear the head president of the court says this case is rubbish, just as how I'm feeling right now, and close it. That's all I want to hear right now, because this is foolishness. It's too many loopholes. Sean Storm, not in court. Cell tower shows that Lizard is in Portmore. Tampered evidence. Text messages are being sent from Vybz Kartel's phone. And no, the man you accused of being present at the time of the murder, or your star or your main witness told you was present, was in the hospital. So people, the more I think about this, the more I laugh. So just let's get into some serious matter now. Valerie Nita Robertson told the appeals court on Wednesday today, that her client could not have been at Havendale St. Andrew House, where Clive Lizard Williams was killed, as Kartel was at a corporate area hospital when the alleged murder was committed. She further went on to state that the entertainer arrived at a corporate area hospital at 7:48 p.m. on the same day of the incident. It would mean that Mr. Palmer would not be at the house when this quote-unquote murder happened, the Queen's Counsel told the court. The Queen's Counsel, Valerie Nita Robertson. She argued that this information challenges the accuracy of cell tower information that was used during the entertainer's 2014 murder trial evidence, which was given by Police Inspector Warren Williams, who heads the police cybercrimes unit, that cell tower information placed Kartel at Havendale House at 7:52 p.m. Forgive my laughing, people, it's too comical. However, Nita Robertson pointed to the evidence given by main prosecution witness that he arrived at the house at 8 p.m., witnessed the events that unfolded, and then took Kartel to the hospital close to 9 p.m. Alright, so Lizard is in Portmore and he's being killed in a house while he's in Portmore. Now Vybz Kartel is in hospital and he's at the scene of the crime committing the murder. Very interesting times ahead. People, this is all I'll have to say. I don't want to get too caught up in this because yes, emotions are flying and I've been dealing with this drama for months and months, but let's be proactive here, people, and think proactively. If this case is not thrown out, I don't even want to hear a mistrial. I don't want to hear a new trial. I don't even want to hear any other evidence. The fact that the bribery occurred and there was prosecution, misconduct by Miss Paula Llewellyn, then that alone should kill this case and throw it out. When in doubt, as she says, the integrity of the court needs to stand up. And even if the lion was going to eat you yesterday, then you must be able to look at the lion today and let him go. So she needs to take her own advice. All right, let's listen to another piece of clip, because I love these, you know, because when they kick themselves in the foot, I just love it. So just listen to this, because after this I don't know what else can become of this case. I'll be very, I think I'll be literally traumatized if this case goes any other way than what all the evidences are leading up to. But we know the wicked them and we know who we're dealing with.
After having been a prosecutor for several years, I was still young, assistant director, and I had the experience where I was at home, where my parents live now. I won't say the name of the community because Daddy still lives there, but it was an upstairs house that my father had built. And my mother and I were alone at home one night. And somebody came in through the balcony door and came in on us. And I became aware of a sensation of somebody being in the room. Never forget it. And when I got up and I saw this person, I kept going through my handbag, I started to scream. But this is when I was like a Crown Counsel assistant director, quite young, but still had a couple of years as a prosecutor under my belt. And I, of course, you know, made a dash, screaming. And my mother came down the passage, and she, being the warrior, the lioness that she is, you know, made as if she was going to tackle him. Anyway, I think he must have been so frightened because I have a loud voice. It's even louder when I scream. So he ran away. And the both of us ran onto the balcony. And I'll never forget it. My mother, who had spent 8 years in England, where she trained to be a nurse, tended to be a little prim and proper. And I remember we were both in our nightwear. And I was there, you know, screaming and saying, help. And my mother, I'll never forget it, in a very prim voice, was saying very quietly, murder, murder, thief, thief. So I remember I stopped and I said, Mommy, that is not the way to do it. And she just said, oh, Paula, the Lord has protected us. We're safe now. You know? But we called the police. And I remember about 2 or 3 radar cars came. And they searched. And another radar car came about 20 minutes to half an hour after we had made a report. And they came, I'd given a description, they came with a guy in a cap, clothed almost similarly to the person who I thought I'd seen in the darkness. And the police were immediately, they were, really edgy and said, Miss Llewellyn, just say the word. Is this the man? Does he fit the description? And gentlemen, the tenets of that well-known case of the Queen against Turnbull, which establishes that identification as a matter of law, is a special category of case, and why I must be extremely careful, came through my head. And when I just the physical, mental exercise of thinking of the legal constituents of what is good identification, I said to the police officers, I can't be sure. I can't be sure. My mother was absolutely astounded. In fact, the police were astounded. And I said, gentlemen, and I started to give them a lecture on what the case, the Queen against Turnbull, decided. And why it was, I couldn't be sure. So they just shook their head and said, all right, Miss Llewellyn, your knowledge of the law, your confidence and your competence, and most important, your integrity has to be of such that even when faced with that, I still had the presence of mind to think of the case of the Queen against Turnbull, which deals with identification as a special category of case, and to recognize and disengage, take out the emotional and recognize that I still couldn't be sure. Therefore, he would have to be let go.
So as you travel through your day and you do your daily list, please ensure to keep Vybz Kartel in your prayers and at the top of that list in your thoughts, because we just have to continually pray that they release our artists. Leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts about the new findings. Boy, when will it end, Gaza Nation? This is really frustrating. It's frustrating, but we not stop because we've waited so long. I don't see why we can't wait and see this through. Alright, peeps, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and smash the like button. Don't just like, smash the like button on this video.
Africa want to see the world boss. I want to talk to the world boss. Vybz Kartel.